One of the most common things I hear from engineers running FEA in-house is we don't really trust our simulation results. And you know what? It happens more often than you might think. When confidence in the simulations fades, it stops being a design asset and starts becoming a bottleneck. If you ever looked at your results and thought, that doesn't make sense, this video is for you. Let's talk about why this happens. And I want to share with you what I see most often when I work with teams who are struggling. Based on my experience collaborating with FEA engineers, here are 5 recurring pain points that often come up. The very first one is that modeling assumptions don't match reality. Loads and constraints are applied with guesswork, boundary conditions are too simple, or simply don't reflect how the part will actually behave. Often I see fixed support where boards should be modeled, or loads applied statically when the real system is dynamic. The real world is messy. Interfaces have compliance. Loads come from interacting systems, and supports are never perfect. So if your model doesn't capture that, even the best solver can give good results. The second big point arises when mesh quality and convergence are ignored. Mesh is either too coarse or too refined in the wrong places. The convergence check is often completely skipped. Without mesh independence, results might look precise, but they are wrong. Too many teams run simulations without ever checking if refining the mesh changes the outcome, and that's very dangerous. You need to validate mesh convergence around critical areas like stress concentrations, fillet, joints, etc. Otherwise, your peak stress might just be a numerical artifact. The third pain point comes from incomplete or inaccurate material data. And this especially breaks down in nonlinear analysis. Without accurate material modeling, your results can be trusted, no matter how good your mesh is. And also, linear elastic is often assumed even when large displacements or plasticity behavior dominate. In the real world, capturing a load redistribution or the correct stress-strain curve is critical. The fourth pain point is undefine the failure criteria. Teams are not clear on what failure means. If your criteria are not clearly defined, your results won't support solid decisions. I often ask engineers, what value are you comparing your result to? And why? And you know what? Too often, the answer is not clear. But you have to keep in mind that engineering decisions require clarity. Is the part limited by yielding, buckling, strain, composite delamination? Defining failure criteria upfront is essential, and without it, the analysis lacks direction and clarity. The last pain point is an excessive dependence on default settings. Simulation software are very powerful, but when engineers rely on automatic settings without understanding what they are doing, the risk can increase significantly. I have seen models where the solver automatically selects the contact formulation, the element types, or even the load increments. And it works until it doesn't. Default settings are designed for general use, not tailored to the specifics of your project. So, to maintain control of your analysis and catch potential errors, it is essential to understand how the solver operates behind the scene. What may seem like technical problems are often indicators of a more fundamental issue, a lack of structured guidance. Most of the teams I work with are motivated, talented, and want to get better. They are not failing due to a lack of effort or attention. They are failing because they've never been mentored. That's why I created the mentoring and coaching programs at FEA Academy. These services are designed for companies that want to build internal simulation capability and not just fix one model, but actually level up their team's performance and confidence. I support engineers with hands-on guidance to improve modeling, workflow, and debugging. Also, I coach technical managers to streamline FEA processes and align simulation with product development. If your team is facing similar challenges, feel free to book a discovery call with me. No pressure, just a conversation to see if this kind of support makes sense for your team. You'll find the link below the video. Thank you for watching and keep building better simulations.